over 100 by the last count here. Actually, I probably won't switch from Toad. I'm too used to him by now.
Yeah, I'm kind of I've just stuck with Link because, I'm afraid that it'll mess up a lot of my moves. Oh, looks like we are getting underway, and Uncle is saying mean things. Red mail is for cowards. This is rude.
We got a shovel to start with in the chest. I guess that's going to be a very early dig check here for both runners. Let's see if we get any early map checks or if we're going to hold off on that. Oh, we are getting one, in fact, from jmeasher. We've got Blue Pendant at Desert Palace, and we've got 2 red crystals. The 2 red crystals, in fact, are at Tower of Hera and the Eastern Palace. So, my goodness, we could be headed for a very early check of the pyramid.
Now, JCopes was doing a couple shovels there. I don't know if you can get bombs before escape is done. I honestly don't know. I've never gotten the shovel, I don't think.
You know what? I would assume not. I would assume the game gets confused by that, and it's just like, I'm not going to give you anything because you're not supposed to have one. In fact, jmeasher picking up a bomb there right at the start. And they got the fire route off Uncle, so that will be very helpful.
Yep, both making good knowledge of the 2 mini magic pots.
Farime in chat, who of course is probably watching because they're going to play the winner of this matchup, saying that yes, you can do that. Just a little bit of unluckiness there for JCopes then. Today I learned.
It just shows you how impressive these runners' knowledge is, because how obscure is that?
I would say fairly obscure because of the fact that this is only going to be a situation if you get that shovel in the first chest, and that's a 1 in 216 chance really that shovel is going to be that very first item you pick up from the game. Well, actually, maybe a little bit less than that. There are some keys and dungeon items that will not appear there, so it's probably a little bit closer, maybe 180. And the hammer showing up early too. Oh my goodness! So we got fire rod, we got hammer, we got shovel. Everything looking pretty good so far. Just no sword yet.
That is really good news for JCopes, because he was going to have a limited amount of farming for a bomb. Whereas jmeasher already has his.
Indeed, you're going to be able to use that hammer to put some good thwacking on some of the enemies around here.
Yeah, jmeasher did exactly what I thought he would do, and I believe JCopes will as well. As soon as they take down this ball and chain guard, it makes more sense to be on the hammer.
Yes, indeed. So there's a little bit of love there. So that indicates, with that chest being a piece of heart, the next chest we're going to see is going to be the key for the escape here. Meaning that there's going to be 4 more chests in the back there. One of them's a map, so there's 3 more items left to find. And you can see JCopes there is 9 bombs now for jmeasher, getting all of the luck, and JCopes still not finding a drop.
Wow, so hopefully JCopes is going to hit some more green guards here. Definitely probably some rats. And there he gets his bomb. Because it looks like in that drop pack there's both a single bomb and an 8-bomb drop. So rats are the way to go from here if you want more bombs.
Indeed. I think with the hammer, they'll be fine now. I think we'll probably see with the hammer and the fire rod, they should be A-okay to get through and open up the left side there in the escape without having to use any bombs elsewhere.
Wow, the prize back on those snakes. You got red rupee, fairy, 8 bombs. They're all even up on bombs now.
And jmeasher already thinking ahead here, getting those bombs out. Getting ready to blow open this little sidewall here. We'll get to see what's hiding out. There's the map. Not a whole lot in the chest, though, unfortunately. So we will see a sanctuary chest reveal in just a moment here from jmeasher's side. And coming on through into sanctuary at about 6 minutes flat. Pretty good time there from jmeasher. JCopes won't be too far behind. And just a little bit of love in the sanctuary chest, and away we go. And we are seeing jmeasher go ahead and take the kind of the new meta route here, going ahead and skipping Lumberjack Ledge at the start. Just, it's a little bit quicker not to do that, and JCopes may actually be going up there. Go ahead and check. Just a little bit of love in the mushroom spot, it looked like. And JCopes is going to go ahead and check. So we're getting to see kind of a split here, and a single rupee in the Lost Woods Thieves' Hut cave. It's not really a hut, it's more of a cave.
Why do they have a cave behind there? I guess, I don't know. It's just kind of weird that the lumberjacks are just secret cave.
Oh, uh-oh. Sorry about that, Cobb, but flippers are up on the lumberjack ledge.
Why do lumberjacks have flippers in a cave?
I don't know, but that's actually going to be very important for JCopes to know. This is almost certainly going to be aggro required, unless by some magical miracle the remaining two pendant dungeons are going to be Ice Palace and Swamp Palace. One of those is a crystal, and we've got an aggro required seed.
That is true. However, if Swamp is a pendant and does not have any required items in it, it is possible to just bypass the flippers and just fake flipper into ice.
That's a good point, yeah. So if Swamp Palace is a crystal, then yeah, we're definitely going Naga here. There's the first glove upgrade in the well.
Now, what will be very interesting is, let's say that Swamp is a pendant, but it ends up containing progression. Which one's going to pull the trigger first?
I don't know. I think JCopes, with the knowledge, may pull the trigger first. And by the way, jmeasher finding as well as a couple of hearts, and a heart there on the bottle vendor, also finding the moon pearl hanging out in the well. So JCopes will be picking it up shortly. And that does actually give us, here's the concerning thing for jmeasher. Has not checked that yet, but we have hammer, glove, and moon pearl, which would normally indicate an agaless seed. And I wonder if jmeasher is going to play. And JCopes having to go back and grab one more 5 rupee just to make sure it has enough. I wonder if jmeasher is going to play a little bit differently And JCopes, with JCopes' knowledge that the flippers are up on the lumberjack ledge and may actually be required.
Yeah, it definitely has still a lot of possibilities. Chat was asking about a potential early Dark World. I like that play a lot more if it was Titan's Mitts, but you really got to walk around quite a bit to get your Dark World access with Hammer and Mitts.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. Obviously, we've also got Death Mountain and just a 20 hanging out there in the dig spot. We just had a 50 up on the bookshelf in the library, so no boots required yet. But yeah, absolutely. It could be a good play here. Could see jmeasher go for it at some point, thinking perhaps that Hype Cave might have something, or there may be some other locations in and around the Dark World area on the south side of the map that could have some stuff. And unfortunately, we're not really finding anything at the maze race. So JCopes at this point is just kind of following in jmeasher's footsteps. The time difference mostly being that JCopes has gone up and checked lumberjack ledge, knows flippers are up there, and will know that it's aggro required if those flippers are needed for anything. Doing a save and quit here. Even from his house. Are we going to see the early Hype Cave play from JCopes, or are we going to see maybe a little bit more clearing out? We might see a little bit more clearing out from south here. Yep.
Yeah, I think he wants to get some of the Sphere 1 or the Tier 1 locations done first, even though there's access to the next tier.
Indeed, and jmeasher picking up literacy, the Book of Medora hanging out in the mini Moldorm cave, as well as some bombs, a bunch of rupees. Is he gonna go ahead and turn that around and go to desert, or is he heading up the Dark World possibly here? He's heading up the Dark World, it looks like. He may be making the early Hype Cave play. Yep, that's exactly what we're gonna see here.
Oh, green pendant swamp. And it looks like the other pendant is Turtle Rock.
Absolutely, everything else crystal. So they could fake flipper over the Ice Palace if need be. It's not necessarily required yet, but there's a possibility that progression is lying deep within Swamp Palace, which would necessitate those flippers. So yeah, we're still kind of 50-50 on that. I guess we'll see. There's the flute and Hype Cave. Good start. And the boots! Oh my goodness. And some bombs. Big 20, a little bit.
And the Titans bits.
Oh my goodness.
The return of the Hype Cave!
10. Get the 10s up in chat. Get them up in chat right now. 10, 10, 10, 10. And get those 10s and 11s up there right now, guys. That is not just a play, but that's an amazing Hype Cave. Oh my goodness.
And I like this right side by jmeasher because he can go to Village of Outcasts when he activates his flute. He's in better position to, kind of make some left-sided or some right-sided checks right now.
But yeah, there's an interesting thought here too. This opens up so much of the map for jmeasher, but it also opens up so much of the map for jmeasher. And that could lead him on some wild goose chases, maybe.
It definitely can be a two-edged sword. However, I gotta imagine JCopes is about to check Hype Cave as well. It's really what the seed is pointing to right now.
Yeah, he's absolutely heading down there. And
yeah, I mean, you got some items over at Eastern, but You don't have lamp, you don't have bow. Yeah.
Getting those map checks in there. So JCopes will have a little bit more info now. He'll know that Swamp House is not a requirement, but it could have progression in it. Oh my goodness, what is this seed? The bow at Catfish? Oh. I mean, Cobb, at this point, we're just seeing some great plays from both runners here. JCopes getting that knowledge check, and jmeasher's routing choices just being fantastic. He's making the right calls all over the place here.
He sure is. Looks like he's going to check King's Tomb.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to set that up.
Yeah, he was trying to set up the side dash trick, which you need a sword for.
Yes, indeed. So
I believe you need a sword for it.
Yeah. My goodness. We are... I see it in the chat there. I may want to bring this up as well. We're already looking at what might we need for go mode at this point. There's the mushroom on Stumpy. Okay.
So we're looking at hook shot, a medallion, lamp, 2 swords, and a cane of Samara.
I believe so. I think that's it.
Technically flippers, but A, we know where they are, and B, So jmeasher's going to get his knowledge now. Yeah, this has become a popularized move that until it looks like if you don't get the boots, why check the lumberjack? So once you get the lumberjack, you do your boots, you check the bonk rocks, and go check lumberjack. So they're even on knowledge now.
Yeah, they're even on knowledge now. JCopes' knowledge there, his knowledge advantage has dissipated. That being said, jmeasher also knows too that if Swamp goes into play, it's going to be aggro required, which it's good knowledge to have, but you're kind of hoping that maybe you don't have to do that.
Are we going to get a sub 20 pedestal check? Yes, we are.
What is this seed? Meanwhile, JCopes going up through Village Outcast, going to do hammer pegs now. Use this to become invincible. Is that going to be the Cane of Burna? I think it's got to be Cane of Burna.
Yeah, I think it said invincible. If it said invisible, then I'd say cape, but I think you're right. I think it said invincible. So at 18 minutes in, they have already dashed chat's hopes of the pedestal seed.
Yeah, I believe it is Cane of Burna, so that's usually not really required for anything as far as items go. It's useful.
Right. It plays into the logic of Spike Cave, but there's other items that can play into that logic, and it's something you can get through without the Cane of Burna.
Yeah, Laser Bridge as well. Kind of the same situation as Spike Cave there. What I like about jmeasher there for the moment is he flutes up to Death Mountain, gonna go rescue the old man out of the cave. Maybe changes his mind at the moment. It looks like he's waiting for that Spag Duck. Yeah, he's gonna go to Desert Palace. Okay. Oh no, he's gonna go to Eastern. Okay. What I like about that routing is that he got both of those knowledge checks in one fell swoop, and JCopes finding the sword. So JCopes got the first sword here at 19 minutes. Finding it in the Village of Outcast. Heading into Thieves Town for an early dip. While jmeasher going to go ahead and, I would assume, clear out Eastern Palace at this point.
Yeah, I think he's doing Eastern first because he doesn't have a mirror, and he also doesn't have the lamp, which isn't going to stop him from checking the items in pod if he wants to. but without the mirror, it's not a fun dungeon to route.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting here. Jacob's finding that big key over there. And gonna be making his way to the back. And dude, there's the lamp. Okay, hi. So both runners kind of going ahead and completing a dungeon that they can do right now. So that's going to be helpful on their ends.
Yep, and I imagine that after Eastern, jmeasher will probably go after Pod because he does have everything that he needs for it.
Yes, indeed. So that will be a distinct possibility, we'll say at this point. Picking up the big key. JCopes working through the back half here of Thieves Town, making the Hellway look particularly easy. And he's having to use the door check there to get rid of the lizards. Just kind of stay at the door frame and poke at them until they go away. Give yourself a little bit of safety space. And just a heart.
Yeah, they look all cute and whatnot, like iguanas or something, but they hit for 2 hearts.
Yeah, but we're sitting on green mail for both runners at this point. Because remember, red mail's for cowards. So both of these runners taking the brave route here.
Well, the uncle said that, and then he got knocked out by the very first guard in Hyrule Castle. Same.
Yeah. Uncle's got a little bit of bravado. So Modified One asking what the tournament best time is now. It is I can't remember the exact time, but it's a 107 something, and I believe Gloin has that right now as the best time, and Gloin is through to the round of 32 as well. And JCopes go ahead and open up the chest. Only 300 rupees, unfortunately. Big chest there as jmeasher reaches Armos Knights. First picking up that missing map, and we'll have the first crystal here at 23 minutes and 32 seconds. But JCopes won't be too far behind picking that up. Let's see what the blind pund is. Alright, so Sahasrarla's Hut has a mail upgrade and the bottle. Sick kid now in play.
Which jmeasher is going to check immediately.
And it's only a full heart, but still that's not too bad. As JCopes actually going to be going up to Skull Woods right now.
Why not? He's got what he needs to complete it.
Yep. So, Cobb, is your thought the same as mine right now? That with the very fast start both these runners have gotten here at 25 minutes in, this seed's going to go sideways at some point here, probably within the next 20 to 30 minutes, and it's just going to be like one or two items that they cannot find, and it's just going to be hard digging from that point onward.
Fairly certain green pendant is going to be the Cane of Samara.
Boy, that would be something when they get everything and they just can't find that cane, and they've got to go fight Aga to get the flippers to go into Swamp Palace.
With the Meyer medallion in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, I think we're seeing JCopes. JCopes is going to go to the back here, and I believe we'll kill Mothula first, and then we'll go ahead and do the Skullwood dungeon at this point. Do the remaining chest checks here. We're going to see Hammer Moth. Very nicely executed. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. I don't think he took any damage.
Nope. And he dispatched him quickly. He did not play safe there at all.
Well, fortune favors the bold, and sometimes when you know how to execute like that, you can really take some risks and have them pay off.
You think he's practiced that? Just a little, maybe?
Perhaps. So in theory, flippers are not, in the logic, they would be required, because the logic assumes that you're not going to do any sequence breaks or glitches like the fake flipper is. So the actual game logic, if you're playing this through straight, no glitches, you would have to go fight Aga to get those flippers to go to the Ice Palace. But fake flipper being the minor glitch that it is, that's fairly easy to execute, as JCopes takes a death there. May have been a...
It was a death warp.
I was going to say a death warp. I was going to say probably just a death warp to check that one chest. It's a little bit quicker. So, yeah, logically required, but given the fact that JCopes, jmeasher, and pretty much most runners will know how to do the fake flipper, it's a fairly easy enough glitch to set up and execute. They'll likely just do that to get over to Ice Palace. So really, at this point, the flippers are probably only going to be needed if we've got Swamp Palace required for an item. Exactly. Just like Lamp. It's within logic, but not always required, dependent upon the skill of the runner and the dungeons and dark rooms that need to be complete.
Yeah, but the question is, who is going to take that gamble first? Because your other strategy is to literally clear every other thing possible before getting those flippers, but you got to figure that either your opponent's going to do the exact same thing or they're going to do it sooner.
Absolutely. One of the other things I think kind of would point toward this being an Agaseed, if you're doing it completely within logic, would be that early lamp. We still haven't found the second sword or the magic cape yet that would indicate access to Aga. Both of our runners actually don't even have the ability to go to Aghanim's Tower at this point. They don't have that second sword or the magic cape to bypass the magical bat creature that guards the entrance to the Aga fight. There. Oh, actually, you know what? There it is.
There it is. However, I gotta imagine that since the mirror is not required unless they have to do swamp, that no one's doing Aga until they find a mirror.
Absolutely. I think that's a smart call. Yeah, there is a logic. There's a guide to the logic. There's a document that kind of details how it works in general. So it's on. I think it is on feed on the Rando Discord. But I do think you are correct with your thought process there, Cobb, that we're going to be waiting a little bit there. Oh, did jmeasher have a crash, maybe?
I didn't see what he was doing. Oh, boy.
Yeah, he had a crash. Oh, no. He had a crash or some other kind of glitch and has lost a ton of progress.
Yeah, I didn't see. Like, did he get soft locked or?
If
he's on an emulator, I guess the crash would make sense.
Yeah, he's definitely on an emulator because I just looked over and I saw his I saw his screen. I was like, oh no.
So now Thieves Town is a crystal, but I don't think that anything was really found in there. I wonder if he puts it off.
I wonder as well. Yeah, he may have lost his he's going to Palace of Darkness. I think with the fact maybe he knows now that Thieves Town doesn't really have anything in it, he's gonna go ahead and just do Palace of Darkness at this point. Maybe not.
Yeah, that's rough. I don't know what I would do in this position.
Yeah, it looks like he does have the lamp still, so I think very interesting here. See what he does. Oh no, he doesn't have the lamp, I believe. He may have lost both TT and EP. So I think it's just kind of like, yeah, he's lost Easter Ballast. He's gonna go back through and complete this again.
Somebody in chat says, that JCopes was a little bit behind. This gives him some time to catch up. He hadn't saved and quit in a long time because he had completed Eastern, he had completed Thieves Town, he had done Village of Outcast. He's lost 10, maybe 12 minutes there.
Yeah, but the good news is if he can remember where all of these things are, yeah, like right there, he's going to be able to make up some of that time because he knows the routing to go through here to get all of the important items. Like he'll just skip these two here. He'll skip that lamp entirely now. He's not gonna go for it. He's just gonna go probably go grab the he's already got the bow out. He's gonna go ahead and grab the big key out of this chest and then just go straight to the back. He's just gonna essentially go mode this. While JCopes is going to desert.
He's gonna skip the lamp. Wow, that's a bold move, Cotton, with Misery Meyer on the docket.
Well, I think possibly he's thinking that he lost so much time there that this is an opportunity just to kind of take little bits and nibbles out of it, of the time that he lost just by skipping things that he's already done that he knows maybe aren't items that he needs. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and skip the big chest, which not a necessary item. And the nice thing is, if he wants to go back and do Thieves Town, he can actually do it probably really quickly because he's going to know that pretty much there's nothing in Thieves Town as far as items, so you can go ahead and skip that.
Now, so they both have the knowledge about where the flippers are. I am seriously wondering if jmeasher says, well, no, he didn't pick up the lamp. Oh, that's going to be a problem. Because he might try and metagame and say, I'm going to go into swamp really, really early. Because Copes is probably going to try and avoid it. But he doesn't have a lamp.
Yeah, if we go aggro required at this point, that's a significant significant loss, because there's one set of dark rooms. There are actually two sets of dark rooms in this game that are extremely difficult. One of them is a Misery Mire. Specifically, the first dark room in Misery Mire is a pain in the butt to do. Now, there's a setup for that. So you can, if you know the setup and you can execute it well with the block toss, you might be able to do it and not have a problem. As JCopes can go ahead and check the Mire, and it's going to be Quake medallion to get in there. So a little bit of knowledge. And I got... Oh, he's going to go back in. Maybe go back in and get the mirror and save and quit. Not the mirror, the lamp and save and quit at this point. I think I see what he's doing. He's just going to go straight back. Crash on save and quit would make sense as well. What's he doing this far? Did he forget where the which one had the lamp in it? It's the one on the right. But yeah, if it's aggro required, maybe he just remembered that you need to have that lamp. There are entire floors of that castle tower climb that are completely in the dark, and they're incredibly difficult to try and do without the lamp.
Yeah, I'm guessing that he's hoping for, you know, a mirror and the mirror and the hook shot pretty soon here, because he's got to want. Oh wow, is he gonna fake flipper to ice? Is Copes gonna fake flipper to ice?
I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna fake flipper to ice or if he's fake flipper and to go to Zora and get all these checks in. Could be either. We'll see where he goes. Oh, he's going to Zora, it looks like.
Aw, he had me all excited.
So yeah, jmeasher it's not panic mode yet. He is going to be, he knows he's going to be behind at this point. But he can pretty much just go ahead and go mode Thieves Town, knowing that there's like nothing in there once he gets his sword out of here.
Question is, does he remember where the big key was?
Well, we'll see here in a moment. I think that's the mirror.
Sure don't.
I think I just saw the mirror. I think it's flipper locked. I think it's on the Zora ledge if I saw that correctly. Chad is indeed confirming that the mirror is on the Zora ledge. That's problematic.
Well, if jmeasher gets that knowledge, it's not a bad thing for him. But I'm kind of surprised that JCopes did that fake flipper to begin with. He is gonna do it. Yep. Oh wow!
Boy, game 3, elimination time. We're seeing some huge gambles at this point.
See, now this is a possibility for jmeasher to make up some time if this turns up, you know, to be a go mode dungeon. Because he doesn't know. If he knew that he had the advantage that he did, he'd be playing this seed completely straight.
Pretty much. I don't know about you, Cop, but this has been an entertaining race, even without the accidental crash there that jmeasher had. This has been just incredible risk taking from these two, making some bold moves here and there. We've got JCopes doing this ice play and the just these checks, the early lumberjack ledge check, knowing that the mirror is up on Zora ledge if you need it. jmeasher making some early gambles, getting that super early hype cave.
You know, one thing I did not consider is that jmeasher found the bow in a very obscure area, and an area that JCopes having done his Zora check and and where we know the mirror is, that is the catfish is completely isolated. So that check alone could bring him back into this.
Right. At this point, the best chance for JCopes to get that routed in is probably going to be when you route in pod at this point. Just because he's got a whole bunch of places he hasn't checked that are all kind of in that same cluster, which are pyramid, catfish, pod, kind of that triple cluster right there.
Right, but who wants to go to pod without a lamp or a bow?
Absolutely.
So
or without the mirror. You can do it without the mirror, obviously, but it's just so much more of a pain in the butt to have to kind of, I'm going to go down here, go over here, go back up, go down these stairs, blah, 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 do death warps and all of that fun stuff. When instead with the mirror, it's just like, okay, push button, just go back to start. Okay, so jmeasher all caught up, has not particularly lost a lot of stuff at this point.
Yeah, I think he mainly skipped some hearts, maybe here or there.
Yes. I think he's 2 hearts and a mail down at this point. And JCopes finding that magic powder, so you won't have to fake powder the bat if there's an item there. That's a good find. Yeah, he's about 7. I think he's about 7 or 8 minutes behind. Gonna be going into. Nope. Gonna be going into Skull Woods here. And we'll also be making, I believe, the same play that JCopes did. Okay, go to the back, clear that out, and come back and get all these chests later. Because once you get that second item, you don't have to worry about this anymore. Or if both items are in the back, hey, you just saved a ton of time. Yeah, JCopes could go. Well, it doesn't have the mirror, unfortunately, so I won't be able to mirror over to get the mushroom turn in, but he will be back up that way at some point.
This is really smart by jmeasher. He's going to check this item first so he can death warp and get some more health.
Yes, that's a good call. But before anyone says, "Oh, well, mushroom turn in," that's just a one-off item. Why would you route that in? Except not till late when you need to go do it. Well, there was a round of 64 series that was determined by a mushroom turn in, twice in fact.
Well, but they have flute. That's
yeah. So they do have the flute, so that'll make it a little bit easier. Yeah, you really, especially when you're looking for 1 or 2 items, you really can't overlook some of these single one-off locations, no matter how far away they are. Because more often than not, one of them's going to have, maybe it's a catfish, maybe it's a graveyard ledge, One of them's going to have something you need, and you have to figure out how you're going to get these checks in here. Yeah, poor Farmy knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'm getting to see a really nice hammer moth fight here from jmeasher.
Yeah, I don't envy him at all. No one wants to do this with green mail. He did that. It looks like it took him a lot of time, but the fact that he just did it with green mail is awesome. And being careful is the right play.
Yeah, jmeasher taking it a little bit slower there, but still getting the job done. Finding one item there, so that's going to be very helpful. Knowing that there's only one more item to find, and we know where it is. It's the Master Sword in the big chest. So yeah, oh, JCopes he's going for it. He's going for it. This is. Wait a minute. Is he going for it without the lamp? Oh my goodness.
He's gonna find out. I think he forgot he doesn't have the lamp. He's gonna find out pretty shortly here.
Okay, he's either forgotten he's got the lamp, or this is like one of the boldest plays I've seen in this tournament, trying to do Aga Dark Rooms. jmeasher with the Death Warp there. Yeah, there's some torches. Okay, yeah, there are some torches, so he'll be able to light part of the way. I think maybe that's what he's aiming for. Get the torches in the certain rooms, but oh no, he forgot he didn't have the lamp.
Life lessons.
Okay, so that does confirm that yeah, he forgot about the lamp.
Oh, and he's gonna be upset in a second. So he's gonna find the lamp real shortly here.
Yeah, he's gonna be a little bit upset. He's gonna have to save and quit to come out of here and do this. And jmeasher picking up a second sword. Does get the save and quit safely. No crash this time. Here's the blue mail. So for jmeasher, where do you go? House of Darkness.
And dark it is going to be for him.
He went back. He did go back and pick up that lamp, though.
Yeah, he better kill that murder dactyl. It will follow him to the ends of the earth.
Yep, so both vendors are now Aga prepared. They both know that the flippers are up there. But JCopes has a little bit of an advantage, knowing that Mir is going to be on Zora Ledge, which is flipper locked. So unless they're going to do the double water walk.
Yeah, I mean, you could. At that point, it's kind of saying, I mean, the seed is really saying, go do Aghanim.
Mm-hmm. And JCopes not happy to find that lamp bombs the chest. So for each runner and what we're still missing between them both to get into go mode, we know the Misery Mire medallion is going to be Quake. We haven't found that yet. We're looking for the hook shot, unless somebody knows how to hover here. And last time I checked, I wasn't sure that either of these runners were consistent hoverers. So who knows? Maybe there's a game 3 surprise waiting here, but could be the case. Or I just may be misremembering something on that too. And the bow is at Catfish, which JCopes has not been able to route in yet. So that is a definite advantage for jmeasher.
Yeah, and it's given him time to catch up. Hopefully, after JCopes finishes with Eastern, he might dip pod. But hopefully after that, he does the pyramid catfish check.
Indeed. We might actually see the Agaplay Part 2 at this point from JCopes. Now that he's got the lamp. Or maybe, yeah, maybe so. And there are a bunch of items that are kind of question marks at this point, dependent upon locations and where items could be, and if we need them. They're not necessarily 100% required, but they could, as we see both our runners go through here. JCopes going through Aga Tower. jmeasher going, checking all these things, find the key in the big 20. But obviously the other two medallions, one of those two could be required if we have to go in Turtle Rock. Cane of Samaria is still going to be required as well. Cane of Berna, I would doubt it, unless for some reason we absolutely have to go to Laser Bridge and our runners need a super safety for that. We don't have the Mirror Shield or some other way to get around it. Ice Rod if T-Rock's also required for completion. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that could still be outstanding as far as required for an Agassi at this point, but could also be really close to go mode, dependent upon where our runners have to go.
Yeah, there's so many possibilities right now. I mean, this could be we find the hook shot and the cane and Quake fairly soon, or we could be doing like Turtle Rock type things and Swamp Palace. Ooh, and jmeasher takes a death.
I think it's a death warp.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I think he's got everything out of the back end there, and I believe has done some chest counting and key counting, and may know that the final chest there in Harmless Hellway should just be a key, and that there's an item on Helmasaur King. So good heads up play by jmeasher there.
So by JCopes making this Aga play, it kind of tells me that he wants to either do some Death Mountain stuff or go into Swamp, both of which are not going to get him the bow. That being said, though, other than some crystals, doesn't look like jmeasher's getting much out of Eastern and Pod, or at least that JCopes didn't also get.
Indeed, only getting one blue ball there.
Okay, I take it back. He's gonna get his bow right now.
Indeed. Oh, hey, jmeasher showing up with the Cane of Burna on the right side there. Holy cow.
The Cane of Samaria.
Cane of Samaria, yeah. Cane of Burna is on the thingy.
I maybe should just like stop saying things, because I first said that JCopes wasn't was going to be led away from the bow. Then I said he didn't find that jmeasher didn't find much in Pod. I was wrong on both counts.
Yes, indeed.
Is he gonna play Pod?
I think so.
JCopes is...
Which is a great play to make.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get him something that he obviously needs. I'm kind of surprised that he doesn't grab that mirror first. Especially having blue mail and 14 hearts.
In chat pointing out as well that Catfish was a troll last game for JCopes as well, so... So the race is not too far apart at this point.
Yeah, you know, and the other thing about getting the mirror prior to going to Pod is you could finish up Eastern at the same time.
Absolutely. jmeasher doing that water walk there. What was so important at Lumberjack for JCopes to do Aga? Flippers. Which the mirror is on the Zora ledge, and jmeasher is about to go find it right now. So he knows. So jmeasher not going to do the double for mirror. JCopes, meanwhile, will be going to complete that. And jmeasher is going up to Death Mountain at this point, gonna go rescue the old man.
Yep. With the flute, it's going to gain him a valuable save point to be able to refill health and immediately be able to flute. And he's going to get a couple items in the process.
Indeed, I just hope he's not really putting too much pressure on himself right now. I would assume I am guessing he's behind, but he's not probably as far behind as he thinks he is. It's gotta be frustrating though to have that save and quit and then have that happen, the emulator crash, and then next thing you know, you're feeling like you're way behind, even though you've done a pretty good job of clawing back a lot of it.
Oh, JCopes getting that at the last second. Nice.
Very nicely done. I think he's setting up Fake Flipper here to go to Ice Palace.
Yeah, either that or Hobo, because he's already checked the Zora
He's having a little trouble setting the Fake Flipper up at this point. Alright, just gotta calm it down. Just gotta calm it down. Okay, he's got it now. Okay, there we go.
No, jmeasher, don't. Oh, jeez.
So I guess the question is, we do have access to Death Mountain. Will we see a runner go up and go to Tower of Hera and then check the East Death Mountain stuff there? Probably we'll see. Go ahead and see JCopes make the decision to go to Eastern Palace following this and complete that one, which will leave. Yeah, which will just leave him with Misery Mire and Tower of Hera to finish up. And a pretty strong need to find that Quake medallion.
Yep, and there is an extremely high item density on Death Mountain right now that they have the knowledge to get. And JCopes would only take him a minute to get that mirror. So we'll see what he does after he finishes pod here.
Oh, jmeasher having a little bit of a rough ride right now, trying to get through this room. And skip doing the Ice Palace bomb jump. Very likely means
Well,
go ahead and full clear at this point.
Yeah, I think that he feels that he's already lost. There's no chance for him, which he doesn't know how close it really is.
No, that's actually kind of the tough thing when you're running, because you don't know how you're doing compared to your opponent, and by and large, the runner's mentality, whether you're one side or the other, your mentality usually is, as JCopes picks up that Candace Maria, is that usually I'm behind. You know, that's what you're thinking for most of the race until you get up to like the top of Ganon's tower and you don't see that dot done. And you're thinking, okay, maybe I'm not behind. But yeah, it's
Oh, you think you're behind until you hit that done button and it says your name.
yeah,
Finish first.
yeah. You see you see that you've done first, and you're like, okay, I won this. But it kind of starts to at least alleviate a little bit that you're not that far behind and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and doing a nice job with a bunny bean powder there. JCopes about to go get those flippers. Probably pick up the mirror as well. One would assume.
Yeah, because I mean, at this point, the only other use the flippers are for him would be to check hobo. Because he definitely needs that mirror to be able to get into swamp if that is his plan, or maybe he'll be going to Death Mountain. We will see.
He's definitely going to get the mirror right now. And we'll have a couple of options. Eastern Palace still on the table. Tower Para. Still looking for that Quake. Find that Quake medallion.
I like the idea of doing Death Mountain first, not only because it has a higher item density, but because you can get Hera done. Well, so he could get Hera done, and then he'd have to go do Eastern. Then he could do Swamp. If he doesn't find what he wants, the items he's looking for, he can immediately go to Pyramid Fairy.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's still plenty that can go wrong for JCopes with decisions, and jmeasher can certainly decide to pull back in here.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, Death Mountain could be 100% bust. Or, and so JCopes leaves, but, when jmeasher does it, he feels he's behind, so he decides, assuming he gets the right medallion, I'm going to hop into Turtle Rock.
Yep. And there we go. Got a really tough fight right now. Green Mail with using the hammer on Cold Stare. This could be scary. Gotta take it nice and slow. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Don't get hit, please. This is super scary.
Oh, that one.
Oh, no.
No.
He's dropped. He's died. Oh, no. That's not good. I've been in that situation. Yeah. This is really frustrating.
And actually, it looks like jmeasher has forfeited. I don't blame him. I think that, with that Ice Palace death, even if he knew he wasn't that far behind, he's just so far in his head right now that he probably doesn't even want to play right now.
Yeah, it's one of those situations I really can't blame him. I think JCopes. Let's see if we can. I'll have to check the race chat here and see. Yeah, they were discussing it. The crash put him on tilt.
Looks like his controller wouldn't allow him to store spins. So we unplugged it and we plugged it in, and it caused his emulator to crash.
Okay, so that explains what happened there. Yeah, just trying to play through it, but yeah, he was super tilted. I really can't blame him at this point. Because I feel like maybe, you know, if he done that fight, probably keeps going, you know, just because get this all figured out. Maybe I'm not that far behind, but you know, having to lose all that time and then go back through, that's gonna be tough. But that being said, we're not done yet because JCopes has got to finish this out. He's got to complete this C to get a time. Picking up Tower of Hera Crystal now. So could be stranger things have happened, Cobb. I doubt we get a situation here where JCopes ends up, you know, deciding to drop out as well. Maybe unless like his computer literally explodes on him at this point or something, but yeah, he does have to finish. He does have to get an official done completion here to take game 3. So we're not over yet.
And we're joined by jmeasher. I'm sorry, man. That's rough.
Yeah, you know, it's. I can't really blame anyone but myself. It's something that should have tested before the race started. In all honesty, I mean, my contingency for that, because this is not the first time this happened, even this tournament. My contingency is to save and quit and then unplug and replug the controller back in. Well, in this case, I'm sure people noticed on the blind fight the reason I did that was because holding the B button was auto swinging the sword. So I figured as long as I saved and quit and then did it, it'd be fine. But I don't know if it didn't store that save and quit, or if I did too fast, or what happened. But yeah, you know, it's unfortunate, and it's not the way I wanted to have this race end. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, you did still run an incredible race, though. Actually, even with the crash, you made up a ton of time. Just one, knowing where things were, you know, the second time around. 2, you made some really good decisions, routing wise, in your choices with your dungeons, and what might have been like a 7 or 10 minute gap, you clawed back quite a bit of that. You're still, I wouldn't even say that it was really hard to tell, you know, if JCopes had a lead, just how far out in front at that point. But yeah, with that cold stare death, I've had those are never fun.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I was getting a little bit back into the groove, but losing the blue mail and all the hearts, and I wasn't going to go back for all that stuff. It was just, I knew, I felt really good. Like I felt like I might have had a lead, you know, depending on if JCopes went to Catfish or not. But at that point, I was pretty confident I was behind for obvious reasons. And then, you know, that fight is so rough with the green mail and as little health as I had. So once I died there, it's like, you know, I'm not having fun with the seed at this point. It's I'm probably behind. You know, it's no need to just rip the band-aid off at that point.
Yeah, understandable, completely understandable. And by the way, just as we were conversing there, we did see JCopes go ahead and pick up Tempered Sword and do the hookshot bonks to get across and get the Quake Medallion, which was needed for Misery Mire.
That's an awesome place for that without hookshot. I do want to talk about this seed a little bit because holy smokes, that was I was after it did mini Moldorm Cave. I was like, okay, I have the stuff to get to Dark World. I might as well just go do Hype Cave because I'm right here. And then what was it? Flute, boots, mitts.
Boots and mitts, yeah. And the big 20 it was in the other chest. And I think there was some bombs in there too. But holy cow, that was an absolutely great play that you made there going into the Hype Cave that early because that opened up a lot of stuff for you. And
then the bow being at Catfish. Just out of curiosity, did JCopes go there pretty early?
No, not for like another 40, 45 minutes. Yeah, and he seriously screwed up some routing in Pod and Eastern Palace for him that you did not have to deal with.
Yeah, our last race, there was a book that led to bow and fire rod on Catfish. So when I saw that, and he had the same problem last race where he doesn't like to do Catfish. And I knew that, so I was like, oh, wow. I could be in pretty good position here, but yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things where knowing your opponent and knowing those little ticks like that, like he doesn't like to do Catfish or he doesn't like to do Graveyard Ledge, can really pay off if you go there and check it. It turns out to be something that's really important. And what else was I going to mention? Yeah, we were talking about this seed with that really good start you guys had with the fire rod on Uncle. The shovel showing up in the first chest, the hammer in the second chest there, in the second chest in the dungeon of the castle.
Yeah, but then after that, then you check Lumberjack Ledge, and of course there's flippers there, which is like, well, Swamp Palace is a pendant, so it's not maybe necessary, maybe not necessary. And then I went to Zora and I was like, oh, the mirror's on Zora Ledge, so I don't know how to do that trick. I know there's a way to get it without the flippers, but it's like, well, depends on if Hookshot is somewhere at that point. Yep. So it's crazy seed.
Yeah, it was, as I like to say sometimes, like when you get a good start like that, the seeds occasionally, or I would say even more often than not, likes to go sideways at some point. And not necessarily even with the crash issues like you had, but just like with a placement somewhere, maybe even something like that. The hookshotless hookshot cave having the Quake Medallion in the first chest, that's something like that. Just where it's really, really stupidly unpredictable.
Yeah, and then I saw that. That's an amazing place for Quake without hookshot.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's worse than that is when hookshot's in there.
So, I have a question for you. The Ice Palace play, did you make that because you thought you were behind, or because it's a play that you would have liked to make anyways?
I probably would not have done that when I did, if without the crash and losing the 2 Dungeons of Progress. That was I'm hoping that hookshot is in here, and if it is, then I can completely forget about Aga and flippers and mirror and all that stuff. It was a gamble play to see if I could find the hookshot, because otherwise, at that point, what was even left? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, we're seeing JCopes go into Misery Mire now, having that Quake Medallion will make the play into here. And I believe this is the final crystal for him, so essentially he's in go mode, but he hasn't found the hookshot yet, so
Right, but with this dungeon composition, the hook shot could very well be in Ganon's Tower.
Absolutely. And we were discussing this. I know Farami brought it up in chat as well. If either of you, I don't know if either of you know how to hover. You might not need it if you can do it, but I know there's not a lot of people in the tournament that actually can hover and hover well. So,
I mean, if my controller was going to do the auto turboing thing on the A button, I could probably do it, but that's probably frowned upon.
I think turbo is slightly frowned upon.
Yeah, so no, I can't hover. So hookshot was always going to be required for me. I don't know about JCopes, but
well, we might get to see if we're still looking for that hook shot there. So you also did go ahead and get that head check in routed in there too, finding out it was Keen and Berna. So
yeah, at that point I was like, this seed is already so crazy with all the items we just got and flippers being on lumberjack and maybe being required, maybe not being required. I was like, I'm here, I have the book. Let's just check pedestal because who knows. But yeah, Cane of Berna. It took me a second. I was like, that Cane or Cape? And it's like Invincible, so Cane, yeah.
Yeah, we had to do the exact same thing. Did that say invincible or invisible? And I was like, no, it's invincible, so that's Cane of Berna.
So, other than today, how has this tournament been for you? You've done very, very well for yourself.
I mean, me and JCopes were talking before the race. I have vastly exceeded my expectations for this tournament. Getting into brackets on its own was not something I was expecting when I signed up. So to make it here and then to also get to the top 64 was incredible. It's been a lot of fun. You know, it's a shame that it ended the way it did, but you know that's life. I think most of all for me, I'm happy I was able to get to do a whole bunch of fun races, meet a bunch of cool people.
Indeed, finishing 5 and 2 in the Swiss stage, which automatically qualified you through. 5 wins pretty much gets everybody through from the Swiss. So yeah, I would say, you know, despite the issues with the controller here, I think getting to top 64 in a field of 512 people, that's still pretty darn good. And you know, you're not too bad of a player if you can get into the bracket stage, I would think. Just based on all the other people that we've seen get into this bracket stage of the tournament as well. A lot of really big names.
Yeah, I mean, there were a whole bunch of people who were really, really good runners who didn't make it into the brackets just because luck of the draw with Swiss, you know. So, like, there's some fortune, but I think my improvement over the course of the tournament has been pretty substantial. This just comes from playing a whole bunch of seeds. So, yeah, I'm looking forward. You know, I understand there's probably going to be a fall tournament, so looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of fall stuff going on, we do have the Speed Gaming Live event that's going to be coming up. I know it's been going off in the chat a couple times. They'll be coming up in September. Be hosting it just outside of Washington, D.C. And they will be, the main centerpiece will actually be a 8-player Link to the Past Randomizer Open tournament. So some qualifying matches for that, I believe, in July and August. And the top 8 from those qualifiers, based on their race times, will make it to the tournament.
Now, there is one other thing that, sorry to interrupt you, that we need to do at this point, because that was the 7th crystal. I'm not sure when we're going to see Ganon's Tower, but I believe we start to play a game.
I believe we do.
You want to tell us about that game?
Sure. For those of you who may not know, and for I'm sure a lot of you do, thank you for starting that, Cobb. There is one item in Ganon's Tower that is super important. It's Ganon's Tower Big Key. You need to go upstairs. It is somewhere downstairs, and there are 22 possible item locations for it, which includes both chests and items and item locations that are not in chests. Specifically, there's a torch that it can be on. So we like to have a little game where you guys get to put in a number and guess where the location is, 1 through 22. And if you are a subscriber to the channel, to any of the channels, or a supporter who's donated at least 250 bits, cheered 250 bits, I should say, you get a spot on the leaderboard if you're right. And that would either be the first guess that is the right number, or the first guess that is closest. And Cobb, where do you think it's going to be as we see JCopes go ahead and fish around for that hook shot? Finds the ice rod.
Ice rod. Confirmed hook shot on Trinex. I went with 9. I don't know why. I just did. How about you?
I like to pick 12. I usually like to hedge my bets and say it's in the rando room, so at least when I get 12 wrong because they open up the chest in the wrong order and it's in the rando room, I could be like, ha, I was right. I just opened the chest the wrong way. I see someone else has guessed 12. Maybe I need to guess 10. Someone else has guessed 10. Dang it.
This may be the longest Ganon's Tower guessing game that we will ever see. Because I don't think he wants to go to Ganon's Tower until he finds that hookshot, which I don't blame him, because logic-wise, there are very few chests.
Right.
If you get a key on the right side, then 6, 7 chests. Because everything else, you can check the other chests on the left side, but it requires bomb jumps, and he finds bombos. Oh, jmeasher, at least you get to take solace in that you get to watch him suffer through this, and you don't have to.
I had a really bad feeling about this seed after I got the bow at Catfish, because it's too easy. The seed.
Yep.
The seed is playing us right now. It's giving us all this wonderful stuff early, but it's going to be nasty later. I can't blame him. I don't know. I wouldn't really want to go to G2 at the hook shot either. And also, I'm not sure. See, this is where I need to learn Ice Palace key logic, because there's a key layout that could. Well, no, because there was a key early, so.
Yeah, if there's a key early, you don't need hook shot. If there's a key on cold stare, then hook shot was required.
Yeah, because there was a key early which lets you get over to the right side, and that's where the big key was. So, yeah, hook shot can be in GT, I'm pretty sure.
Indeed.
Yeah, the first 6 chests on the right. 7 chests on the right.
JCopes find the magic cape inside of the big purple chest.
I mean, I would probably be gambling GT at this point, but,
It's So I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here and say that JCopes is not going to be too fond of hovering getting the Bloomerang off Bombo's tablet. Because if he could hover, he'd be in GT right now doing that. Or if he felt, comfortable, like, yeah, I could hover consistently, we would be in GT right now. We would probably be turning off the guessing game.
And he might be.
Definitely wouldn't be going into swamp. No one wants to go into swamp.
He might be, obviously with the forfeit. He might have gone into GT otherwise, but if I were still racing, but
That's true. It's a little bit less pressure. It's just at this point, it's just finish this, finish it, and do it the right way. So you may as well spend the time at least looking for that hook shot.
Plus, on our end, it'll be fun if he does find hookshot in GT after he's cleared the entire rest of the world, just because of the ensuing rage.
Just a casual 100% seed.
Mm-hmm. It will be very funny if he goes ahead, completes this dungeon, doesn't find it, goes up to Turtle Rock, doesn't find it, goes to Pendant, doesn't find it, finds the Cane of Burna, goes into GT, and it's like sitting there on like the torch or something, like waiting to be like, hey dude, I've been sitting here the whole time.
Well, he actually can't find it on pedestal because he can't finish this dungeon.
Oh yeah, that's right. He doesn't have the hook shot.
But he does got to do the left side the long way.
Yay! The other unfortunate thing is that because of what JCopes has found, I can't believe we're sitting here cheering for this. Why are we doing this? Why are we being so mean? But the other thing is he's got most of the fetch quest stuff done already. So no stupid fetch quest chains where something's like way out of the way. He's gonna spend forever tearing his hair out trying to find it.
We haven't checked Graveyard Lunch. That could be fun.
Don't you put that evil on us, Cobb. So yeah, you did bring up that point that he should know it's not on pedestal because of the fact that this is going to be needed to complete Swamp Palace.
Okay, how about this? Hookshot in Spike Cave. You're right at GT, but you have to give up GT to go to Spike Cave.
I think that would just make me sad if that was the situation I was stuck with. I'd be just like, game, why? What did I do to you? Why are you doing this to me?
Nobody likes doing it this way. Especially if he's not gonna find the hookshot.
Yep.
So, considering Turtle Rock is so easy to get back to from GT, I gotta imagine that he's gonna play those first 7 chests in GT before he goes and does Turtle Rock, but I have been known to be wrong. In fact, multiple times this seed already.
Well, we're out of Swamp Palace without the hook shot, so good
Oh,
news.
we're gonna do a pyramid check.
Yep. I was gonna say good news. Turns out that we didn't even need the flippers. Unless we needed the mirror, and in which case we did need the flippers, but I think outside of Swamp Palace, I'm not sure we were actually truthfully
We
needed
needed
it.
the mirror to get Death Mountain.
Ah, yes.
Unless the hook shot is somewhere that we didn't need the Death Mountain for. But I can't think of any place that applies to now.
No, I think at this point, I'm trying to go through my head. Yeah, because all the remaining spots are mirror locked. So
Where was Cape?
Purple chest.
Okay, that was not mirror locked. If it's on Bumper Cave.
Dragon pointing out that if the hook's in GT, we still need the mirror for that. So, good point. And of course, the question is, why is this still going if we already got the forfeit on there? Because JCopes still has to finish the race. He's gotta put in a time for this to be an official race, because it could be some kind of weird situation where, say, the game locks up and like deletes an hour and a half of time, and JCopes is just like, you know what? Let's just reschedule this for later tomorrow. Yeah. Gotta finish.
Wait, I'm confused. If hookshot's on Bumper Cave, why do you need mirror for GT?
if it's there, you wouldn't. But I don't know. I don't know if anybody's checked Bumper Cave. I know I didn't.
Neither did JCopes. We don't know what's on it.
Could
Wouldn't
be.
that be the ultimate troll?
It was there all along.
Which, technically, if you want to follow the logic, you always needed the flippers for Ice Palace.
Right, but the logic also exists for us to bend it to our will. Occasionally.
Here we go. Is it hookshot?
He's gonna be so frustrated if it's a
Oh, it
hookshot.
will be amazing.
I feel
the
like we
amount of
checked this
salt.
already. It's just a
Ah. Personally, I think he should get it just to prove the uncle wrong, but you know,
look. That was Uncle's final wish for us, was to not get the red mail.
yeah, so mirror was officially needed.
Yes, that was a good point, and Dragon Master pointing out that we would need it because we would need it to be able to get the Tower of Hera. Because without the hookshot, we can't go around. So yeah, we did still need it. So Aga was 100%
Okay.
required.
Good point. No. If we were saying that hookshot was on Bumper Cave,
Yeah.
that was like the last possibility.
Well, we're going into Turtle Rock.
Yeah. I mean, we might go into Turtle Rock here. He's definitely going to open it, which makes sense. But I would check the first 7 items.
So yeah, we're not. I guess we're not in go mode. We're in go find a hookshot mode. Oh yeah, he's gonna go ahead and maybe go into GT here. Yep. think we're going to see it. So this is definitely the absolute longest GT guessing game we've had in some time, maybe ever.
16 minutes.
16. You got track of it. Beautiful. Okay, well, you started it, so I will give you the honors of stopping it.
I love this.
Of course. Words escape me at this point.
I just, JCopes has to be the most angry person that knows he's going on advancing ever.
Right now he's got more salt than a McDonald's Happy Meal. And there's just silvers.
Oh, and I don't know. A death here might result in the breaking of his controller. So he needs to be careful.
Yeah, JCopes just gonna be like, he'll just come in here for the interview, probably be like, what was that? Oh, that was, I think, first chest in GT being the hook shot, which we've been looking for the last 15 minutes, so that we can come up here and go across the Moldorm 2 gap. That just says everything about this seed. And that also means, because of the hook shot location, it was absolutely required to do the bonk to get to that first chest. That was not an option either.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. It is in bonks are in logic. So that's 9, I think, 10, 11, and we continue.
Yes, we're on to 13. We're not in rando room at this point, so unfortunately, I struck out. So Bob's chest coming up next, number 14, and then we've got the 3 chests that are behind the Armos Knights fight number 2, aka the vanilla big key location in this dungeon. Chat's out for blood. They want tile room. Oh, it's a Fish Price shield. First shield of the game. 1 hour and 43 minutes in.
So that was what, 13?
That was 14.
That was 14.
Yes. 13 chests, 14 locations. Hey, 15, 16, 17's half magic. We've got fire shield and half magic now, so finding all the things. Which means we're on to the right side. 5 chests to go. So,
now,
question.
Someone from chat pointed out that he did miss a pot key along the way. However, he didn't open the left door in the previous room, so it shouldn't hurt him.
Indeed. Should be okay. So, next room got 4 chests. Go ahead and open up. So the question is, do we have big key in 18 through 21? 18, no. 19, yes. There we go. Sorry, chat. No tile room today.
Thank you there. I thought that was it, but I'm like, what's the next command?
It is save, and correct answer was 19, so congratulations, R.D. Walsh. You have done it. You have won the marathon of GT Big Key guessing games. You should put that in, like, your Twitter bio or something, or like on your Twitch page. It's a badge of honor.
So I know that we didn't do Turtle Rock, but just kind of with how this seed went, it's kind of surprising that this is, barring some death up here or fall on Ganon, it's going to be a sub 2 hour seed.
Yep. I think that's a lot of that's probably just up to and it would have been even faster too if we had found that hook shot a little bit earlier. Or if JCopes had made the gamble that, yeah, I'll just go GT and look for it there, and oh, here it is, first chest I opened up. But that's one of those things you're never gonna know that. It's just one of those situations where you're probably sitting there thinking like, that seems silly, and then it happens, and you're like, this game is dumb sometimes. Yeah, JCopes will definitely get a pretty good time here. Okay, well, you will have a lot to talk about once he's finished up. But fairly smooth here from JCopes all throughout, getting up the gauntlet hero. That wasn't quite so nice, but he's got it.
Commentator Gerse.
As soon as I say something, he just drops her off the edge there. Yeah, that's all right.
I told you an hour ago I was done saying stuff because I get being wrong.
You get being wrong, but it's okay. It's okay. The rando makes a fool of us all.
But I'm actually very curious to ask him why, after he decided to do AGA, did he go and do the checks that he did? I thought he was going to save and quit and, follow down the mirror path, but he didn't, and he found the bow.
Yeah, Always very interesting to get runners' perspective post-race after they've had a few moments to collect their thoughts, kind of what they were thinking, why they did what they did, and why they didn't do what they didn't do. And final chest gave me the red ring. No time for tomfoolery, bombing the chest, or rage swipes. We have a Niga to fight.
His collection rate's going to be really high, because other than Turtle Rock and maybe 5 chests in Swamp, he's pretty much opened everything.
Yep, but let's all count along. I don't know if that was 1 or 2.
Yeah, it looked like it might just be 1.
Probably. Yeah. Good old Link to the Past. It hates when doing 2 things at once. So that's at least 4 right now. Yeah, it was only 1. Yeah, so, Hookshot was first chest in GT, and Quake Medallion, which was access to Misery Mire, was in Hookshot Cave in the very first chest that you have to bonk to when you don't have the hookshot. So Mirror was required, boots are required. Like everything was required for the seed ultimately. And we're getting Slick Facts tonight. Brought to you by Ganon. No, he's got the half magic, he's got that magic cape. This will be a fairly nice fight for him, I assume. On to phase 3, getting wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey warps.
Yeah, and then it's just going to be 4 silver arrows to the dome.
Yes, indeed. So probably just about a minute left in this fight.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice timing on that.
Yeah, pretty good. And he got the double, so that'll be 4. And JCopes about to walk through that. Please walk through that door. Please don't fall off.
Please don't fall. We don't. No.
For everyone's sake, please. Thank you.
With an official speed racing TV time of 1 hour, 53 minutes and 15 seconds, JCopes has won.
Indeed. Go spam those emotes and wilds, Chad, or GG easy that. Whatever you want to do. And I believe we have JCopes in here in just a moment.
GG's JCopes.
Thank you.
Boy, that was a thing.
That was a seed, all right, to say the least.
So we had so many things that were like dumb little things that were required, and it's all because of the fact that the hookshot is the first chest in GT. I mean,
I'm still trying to get over that. Like it's just so weird. I've only had that happen once at a Key Sanity before.
yeah. So because of that one item location, boots are required because we needed to go to Hookshot Cave and bonk across to get the Quake Medallion so we could go into Misery Mire. We needed the flippers to be able to get the mirror to be able to even get over there in the first place.
Yeah, Yeah, it's just, it was weird. I mean, you could have sequence broken. I think the water dash and then fake flipper
Yeah.
to get the meter, but it's just such a weird logic.
Yeah, and what's even worse about that was that aggro was required, of course, because the flippers are on lumberjack ledge, and the game gives you everything you need to get aga access, to get Dark World access at the start. So it's like, well, you don't need it. You don't have enough sword power to go do aga, so maybe it's not an aga required seed. And then you see the flippers up there, and you think, okay, maybe it is, and then it turns out, yeah, it totally is.
Yeah, it's strange. I really don't know how to feel about that. It's it was weird though. Like it's interesting. It was an interesting logic. It was fun to go through it, but I don't know if I want to go through it again.
I don't know if anyone would want to go through that again, but that early hype cave, oh my goodness, that was something else too.
Oh, it was loaded. Gold glove, boots, and flute, was it? Yeah, I think it was flute.
Yeah, flew on the NPC, and then we had the gold gloves and the boots hanging out just in chest there.
Yeah, I can't remember a time Hype Cave was that hype.
Yeah. So,
Oh, sorry. I wanted to ask how you were feeling when you went to Catfish.
I threw a couple of fire rod shots.
I was like, I did that immediately after Hype Cave, and I was like, oh man, JCopes is going to be so upset when he gets over here.
I was.
So, I actually wanted to ask. So you went and did aga, presumably because you were thinking about both flipper and mirror type plays. What spurred you to say, okay, I'm not gonna go get those items. I'm gonna go check catfish and do pod, etc.
At that point, I was already in the dark world. I figured, you know what? I could road out to catfish right now because if I don't do this now, I'll never do it. I don't like checking catfish, and the only reason I checked it was because he was pretty mean the last race I did. So I checked it more or less as a safety.
Well, yeah, as they hinted, jmeasher actually had the bow 45 minutes before you.
I see.
And so he only had to do pod and Eastern once.
Yeah, I think I double dipped Eastern after finding the lamp, which was a weird place to find the lamp. I completely forgot I didn't have it when I went up the Egg Tower the first time.
So yes, JCopes, congratulations on advancing, by the way, to the round of 32. You have won not only fame and fortune and wonderful prizes, but you have won the best prize of all. You get to face Faraime.
I'll be honest, I don't feel good about this win at all.
So JCopes and I have been talking kind of as he was finish up run on stream. I wanted to wait for him to get in here before saying anything, though. To be honest, I left it up to him as far as if we wanted to rematch it, and up to the admins, obviously, because as I mentioned up front, there's it is on me to check my stuff before a race starts, but it's up to JCopes.
I'm totally down for a rematch. I don't feel right about the win at all. Like it was unfortunate. It was a circumstance outside of playing the seed.
whole lot of respect there. That's great sportsmanship, and definitely not necessary. Because you played a great match, but that really embodies the Link to the Past randomizer community. So that'll be exciting.
Yes, indeed. And it's if you guys do play game 4 and it ends up being something like you play tomorrow, and I would probably imagine it would be just as good as this game 3 was. Not only before the crash, but even a little bit after it, as jmeasher was kind of clawing back there for quite a while. So you guys both really did a really good job of showing off your talents, even with all of the problems there with some of the crashes and whatnot, and the controller issues. I certainly know a lot of people. If you guys do game 4, I know a lot of people will be really looking forward to it. So I guess it's kind of in the admin's hands right now on what they want to do, but definitely props to you, JCopes, for offering that up.
Thanks. I just don't feel right about accepting this win. Unfortunately, the earliest we'd be having this match would be Monday if the situation is accepted. But yeah, I really hope it is.
Indeed. And the only person who would probably be losing out a little bit on that would be Frime. Having to wait a little bit longer to find out who their opponent would be in round of 32, but I'm sure that they wouldn't mind watching another match between you two. I think pretty much everyone in chat would certainly love that if that's the case. If that's what the decision ultimately ends up being.
And if it does happen, then you can bet I'm going to be testing everything like a half hour before the match. Make sure it's all working properly.
Triple test, yes.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you very much, JCopes. Win or lose, I think you're definitely deserving and an awesome runner. So
thank you. Yeah, I'm totally game to play again.
I guess we shall see.
All of y'all in chat need to go give these guys some love, throw them some follows, put on a great show, a lot of sportsmanship. A lot of fun tonight.
Absolutely. Definitely give them both a follow. They're certainly well worth it.
Any final thoughts from either of the runners?
I hope Catfish doesn't have items anymore.
you just don't knock on some. I'm knocking on wood for you at this point.
Thank you.
After these last 2 seeds, man, it's
just such an out of their location. Especially when you know you won't have mirror when you can check it.
Yeah, my thoughts are just, whatever happens, whatever ends up happening, I like I said when I first got in, this has been an amazing experience, regardless of what happens going forward. So thank you guys for commentating. Thanks to everybody who put the tournament together.
It was our pleasure. So if there's nothing else, I am Cobb.
And I'm Yehan Tiger. As far as the schedule goes, just to give a real quick shout out here to other races that might be going on. We're actually done for the night pretty much. Data World and Genshin 23 are kicking off tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern. So that will be the first race of the day. And I think they've got game 1 and game 2. Now their game 2 of their match tomorrow, and then 10:30. I'm Hugh Bliss and Layra will be playing game 1. So definitely keep in touch for that. Actually, Wayne and Lunchtime will also be playing at 10:30, so a lot of good matchups starting tomorrow. But yeah, I think we will be wrapping that up. So for Cobb, for Dragon Master, JCopes, jmeasher, and myself, Neon Tiger, as always, good night, good luck, good RNG. Take care of yourselves. Remember, somebody out there loves you, and we love you too. See you around the Rando Zone, kids. Bye.